Yeah, actually, you're right. That's the most popular alternative to cow's milk is almond milk, which is kind of interesting because it's actually not the best plant-based alternative milk to choose at all.
Really? Oh, okay.
No, almond milk is very low in protein and it requires a ton of water to produce.
Because regular cow's milk is high in protein, typically.
Yep, it's actually a really good source of protein. There's 8 grams of protein in a cup of regular cow's milk.
Oh, wow.
In a cup of almond milk, there's 1 gram of protein.
Oh, well, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, and you'd think, oh, it's a nut milk. You'd think that, well, nuts have protein, but actually the almond milk has very little protein. And as I mentioned before about the water, 80% of the almonds are grown in California, and that's like in the summer, drought problems with California. And a lot of the farmers growing the almonds actually use pesticides. So a lot of the almond milk out there that we drink have these residues of pesticides, and that's not good.
I don't like eating pesticides myself.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, ripple effects. It's not just on, well, definitely human health, but they're pollinator disruptors, the pesticides. And also then, we can have problems with more risk of reproductive and neurological problems. So long-term health risks of pesticides. So that's not good.
That is true. There's so many things to think about.
Yeah. Well, and so if people are very adamant about having almond milk because they like the flavor or that's the one they want, buy organic, because then you are not getting the pesticides. And the other option is making homemade nut milk with soaking the almonds. And you can find some information online about making homemade almond milk.
I don't think that's something that I'm going to be doing anytime soon. It seems like a whole lot of work. I remember watching our friend make peanut butter. It's like, buddy, it's not that expensive to buy a jar of peanut butter. It seemed like it was like a 4-hour project and then another hour to clean out the blender.
You kill me. That's so true, eh?
Yeah, but hey, fill your boots if that's your thing. It seems like it's an option. I'm guessing it would take a few almonds though to get milk out of, like to squeeze the milk out of the almond or pressing it, or I don't actually know how you get milk out of an almond, but I would think you'd need a lot of almonds.
Yeah, you soak them, and it takes a ton of water. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So what are the other varieties or alternatives, and is there any that are better than almond milk?
Well, that's a good question. Basically, there's differences with all the different plant-based alternatives. So many are fortified with calcium and vitamin D, which is a good thing. That's probably what you want. But also some have added sugars and flavors. So it's good to read the labels on any kind of, well, all food, basically.
Always read the label. That we'll probably have to do an episode on that.
Absolutely.
Because that's kind of like a different language for most people, I think.
Yeah, it's like you have to have a math degree just to figure out the daily value percentages. And
no doubt.
But anyway, let's talk about oat milk.
Let's talk about oat milk.
Because
you've got to get your oats in you.
Yeah, that was in your intro. That was hilarious. What the heck is oat milk? Well, it's kind of funny because that's what we drink, right?
That's what I said when you brought it home. I'm like, what? Oat milk? The heck is oat milk?
It sounds kind of like the creamy residue after you eat your oatmeal. It's like, ew, what is that? But it's actually quite good. It is creamy, and it is a good alternative for people that are allergic to nuts or dairy. And it has more protein than almond milk or coconut milk. So there's 4 grams of protein in a cup of oat milk versus the 1 gram in almond milk. And it's got a little bit of fiber in there.
Fiber?
Yeah.
In your milk. That's well, it's from the oats.
That's right. You know how good oats are for heart health.
I do, because I'm married to a dietitian.
That's right. Okay. Yes. So anyways, the oat milk is a good option for people. But watch if it's got added sugars, because some oat milk has added sugars and some are just the natural no added sugars. So
I noticed when shopping for these, there's options. There's sweetened, there's unsweetened, there's flavors. So you're suggesting to get the unsweetened?
I'm suggesting look at the label.
Oh, yeah, but I don't know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but, okay, so there's the front label where it's like there's the claims, unsweetened or vanilla or a different flavor. Mm-hmm. And then when you look at the side panel, the nutrition facts and the ingredients, so the actual like list of what's in that product, the first thing listed is what's most in that product. So if there's anything sugar related, like with ose as the end of the word, like glucose or fructose, OSE, then that's going to be some sort of sugar. So do you really want to be just drinking a bunch of sugar?
Well, me, no. Some people would probably answer that a little differently, but we'll help with their issues later.
Absolutely.
So read the label, and we're looking for something that has not a lot of sugar.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and everybody's different in terms of what their aim is when they're drinking their milk. So, some people
there's a few ways I could take that. Anyway, carry on.
Okay.
What's your goal with drinking milk?
Well, I mean, some people use it for calcium and vitamin D and protein.
Some people bathe in it. Right?
Yeah. Actually.
People bathe in it and they like put flowers all over them and take pictures and put it on Instagram. I don't know anyone that's done that myself. But I've heard that's a thing to do.
You're funny. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, okay. So we've talked about almond milk and we've talked about oat milk. So the next one is soy milk.
Oh, right. Soy milk.
So soy milk actually offers the highest amount of protein per cup. And it contributes protective isoflavones for heart health. So those are phytochemicals that are actually really protective and good plant chemicals, and they come from soy. And it's actually interesting because soy and hemp, which is the next one we're going to talk about, are both nitrogen fixing plants. So they're really good for the soil. So you don't need the pesticides like you do with almond milk.
Oh, I see. Like how they're grown.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, soy is a good alternative to dairy. Some people don't like the idea of the hormonal effects of the soy in the isoflavones, but basically 2 servings of soy a day is considered safe. So it shouldn't be a problem if you're just having, soy milk once in a while, or just.
I'm not going to grow man boobs or anything. Okay. I think that's sort of a concern with guys there's estrogen in soy, isn't there? Or am I correct?
That's a good question. It's actually, it's a phytoestrogen. It's a chemical that mimics estrogen.
Ah.
So there's some things, it's interesting what happens because women that have had breast cancer, they shouldn't have too much of it. Like you shouldn't be taking soy supplements or isoflavone supplements, but you can still drink 1 or 2 cups of soy milk without it being a problem. But anyways, that's why I think there's been a lot of press around the hormonal effects of soy. And so people have just said, I'm not even going to have it at all.
Right.
But it's actually, it's okay to have a little bit.
Okay. Good to know. So it's a good thing we're here talking about this because I know I'm confused about a lot of stuff and I'm married to a dietitian and I'm still confused. So maybe I'll actually learn some stuff from this too.
Maybe. Well, you won't grow man boobs. So
no, hopefully no man boobs. Okay, so carry on. We're on to soy milk. What's
Well, the one last thing with the soy milk would be to aim for the organic variety again, because it's just better, because less pesticides and more sustainable growing. So, and actually, soy milk for men who want to prevent prostate cancer or are going through prostate cancer treatment, then they can actually take 2 cups a day safely. There's been studies that show that is okay and may be helpful.
Like recommended almost.
Yeah. Calcium, vitamin D, good source of protein. Soy milk has excellent level of protein. It's similar to dairy milk, so 8 grams of protein in a cup. So
nice.
Yeah, so that's a good one.